Greetings, Jedi traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the daily trend for June 23rd, 2016, week 25. As always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only to support your knowledge of the market. See what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. All right, it is Brexit Thursday vote as we lead into Friday tomorrow, so all eyes on the market. Consensus now starting in the next hour as results will start coming out and through the night, so it is no wonder that the next 24 hours is going to be a big one. We did have a whole host of economic data just seeming to be overshadowed by the vote that's coming out from leading indicators, PMI, and our Red Star jobless claims. Other than that, we wait on the Brexit vote and as we lead into tomorrow. Taking a look at the numbers for today, Thursday, nice trending market with 232 ticks on 3 markets, 6 setups, the NQ, ES, and YM. There the numbers as the overnight session gaining some confidence. So trading the overnight, there you have it on all 3 indices, T3 moving averages breaking above on all 4 charts in the green eventually, holding above the T350, making for some nice moves. Pre-market session already coming off downside, and as you can see, this nice move, there's the pre-market move on the NQ, kind of a tail of where price action was, and then pulls back. You have an AD line that's upside at the beginning of the session. You got a tick count that's not coming down, but you got price action to the downside on 4 charts in the red. So great setup to the downside. Just let it go and wait for a cleaner entry, as this entry was already pre-market. Again, you had a soft pullback here. The entry wasn't until down here on regular trading hours. So just let that one run out and managed to find a better setup to the upside. But again, there's the setup that you might have been looking at if you were trading pre-market here on 3 charts. Here's your higher time frames. You have a 20 tick on the right, you have a 15 tick. Here are the crossovers on the moving averages, which puts you into the trade over here. Again, that is if you had entered a pre-market session. Other than that, it was to the upside here as price action eventually turned itself upside after that down move. Buy signal here with 2 charts in the green, price action breaking upside above the higher time frame moving averages, putting you into the long position and just trying to hold out throughout as price action just simply chopped away. It wasn't until the about the European close, again, we had that nice move upside on all 3 indices to give you one of the best trends, first trends of the session. And there was the upside move on the NQ. As we can see, buy signal down at the lows on 2 charts with a 50 crossing, about to cross the 144, and taking a little bit of an early entry here. Again, there's a little bit more riskier here as it hadn't crossed 2 moving averages, but the YM and ES already running upside, so joined in on the 3rd on the NQ and the ES to the upside. Again, trying to stay in that chop wasn't easy. Saw price action never really break underneath the T350 on the lowest time frame, so held on and eventually just said, I'm done with this, and we'll see if there's another trade during the session. And sure enough, there it was, trend number 4 of the session. Buy signal to the upside on all 4 charts in green. Probably the best trade of the session, kind of a lead into where the market is headed into the Brexit vote results. And there's the 3 trades right to the upside on the buy signal, a couple bars beyond. That's all right. Price action in trend, solid Heikin Ashi bars upside, and 4 charts in the green. And taking a look at the AD line, as we can see, that NQ move that we were looking at on the chart, which was headed to the downside, and you got an AD line coming up to the upside, made that a tough decision once regular trading hours had opened. So let that one go. The market turned around on all 3 indices like we just saw. And in case you forgot what that looked like, let's go back to that setup right there. There they are, all 3 charts, all 3 indices to the upside. And then you take a look at the AD line, matching the green Heikin Ashi bars to the upside here and holding. And pretty much the remainder of the session just plateaued out as one would expect. And then a little bit of a nice move here towards the end as the candles lifted above the 10-period moving average and giving us a nice lift into the close. Let's take a look at the 5-minute bars. Again, crude already out with its numbers this week. Price action still hanging around in the 50s. We can see for the most part hanging around the 25-minute, underneath the 25-minute open range, down to the daily pivot, holding the line and breaking back to the upside. Again, all three indices, you can see the nice move here towards the end on the 5-minute chart as we broke all the way upside. But really, for the containment of the session here on the ES, we can see we're pretty much hanging around not only the open range in yesterday's high, but really zoning in around today's open until the breakout towards the end. Holding on to that during the mid-session, not an easy thing to do, but as long as price action didn't break that T350, I have no quarries that that thing was going down yet. Again, same picture on the YM, finding that support at today's open, so no reason. This is a little bit tough as you saw price action pulling back, but held. But at some point you get tired of the chop and say, all right, we're towards the end of the session, I'll bail. And if a really great setup comes, I will take it. And there it went to the upside. Again, picture on the NQ down to the average low as we saw price action push back upside to the open, chop in between right above the yesterday's high. A very quiet afternoon session and back to the upside. Let's take a look at the fib projections, how we do today on fib projections. Price action hitting all three fib projections upside. Again, we thought at some point we might actually grab that low target, but we hit that high target on both the NQ, the YM, and the ES. So nice going on our Fibonacci projection levels. All right, let's jump right into the daily trend charts. As we take a look here at the crude, we're going to leave the 5144 out of our daily trend today. Just focus on the charts above. Again, the top chart being the higher time frame, 534 in the second row. We have our higher time frame third row of up above. So if we have 10 tick up here, this is our 20 tick chart. And then on the fourth row, our 5144, which is the chart usually accompanying that you can see right here. All right, let's jump right into the CL here. Whoops, let's go ahead and open that up. There we go. All right, so CL on the crude again, price action overnight session, still hanging around those 49s. Looking for the best setups of the session, looking for the solid bodies, tails down. That's right, Heikin Ashi bar with all four charts in the red. There you go. There was one of the nicer trades of the session. Price action bounces back upside, and then there you go. 1, 2, 3 charts in the green. 3 to 4 charts is the setup. Again, if you wanted to wait until the breakout of the T350, you would have looked for an entry up here. But here was your buy signal, and on 3 charts in the green to the upside. So nice move on the crude yesterday after kind of settling out quietly. YM, again, we saw that picture of a lot of chop mid-session here as price action at the forefront of the session started to move down together with that AD line that was headed in the opposite direction. Really didn't move much, but again, not a bad entry to the downside on the YM with solid bodies, Heikin Ashi bars, and 4 charts in the red. So setup number 1, setup number 2 down here. Once again, 4 charts. You might have passed on this one as you only had 2 charts in the green. Once price action did break above the T350, you then could have jumped in, but not my preference, usually wanting to jump in at the beginning of the trend change. YM again on the pullback, no setup here. Buy signal here on 4 charts in the green. Place that stop at the swing size, and man, you got to run there all the way up. And here we are in after hours trading. As we can see, market is still pushing higher. Take a look at the NQ. Again, we saw that picture to the downside. Really not a match for the AD line in the market internals, but on all sorts of setups pre-market, what a nice move it was. Soft pullback to the downside on 4 charts in the red. Nothing over here until you got back up here. 3 charts in the green. Buy to the upside. Held on here through the chop. Finally decided to bail. All right, you bail. You try to see if there's another setup, and there it was to the upside, hanging all the way to the end, as you saw there on the blog post. Take a look at the ES here. Price action again, similar picture. Again, to the downside here, we saw a nice entry on the ES with all 4 charts in the red, leaving that mid-session alone. You might have grabbed a couple ticks on the sell signal here. Buy signal to the upside, much better looking than the NQ. 3 charts in the green to the upside on the ES, holding on, just barely stopping out the break even or entry. Again, you might have just decided to bail up here, held on, held here at the T350, and from there it was all to the upside on that last move in the last 15 minutes. So talk about patience, waiting till the end. Taking a look at the gold again reacting to this entire market move. Downside overnight session, pre-market, as we see price action coming downside here. Sell signal to the downside with 3 to 4 charts in the red. Waiting for another setup. Your best optimal setup was here towards the end of the close on sell signal to the downside with 3 to 4 charts in the red. And the euro, which is all the focus now, price action kind of chopping overnight here. As we saw yesterday's session, really getting that nice lift on post-market, and price just a little bit choppy here. Again, the best of the setups on the sell signals downside is 50 was below 144 until the afternoon session, where we got a nice pop back up. Again, the better setup over here on the right. As we expand that, you'll see 3 charts in the green, 1, 2, and 3 to put you in the trade holding above the T350. All right, taking a look at daily gaps. Well, we closed out a gap on the ES today, 2097.25. We still have gaps both upside and below from previous action day. Almost closing out the YM up here at 17,945. So what is the probability that we continue to the upside? Well, we'll take a look at the volume profile on the daily pick here. Again, 600-day VPOC holding the line here on the YM. NQ, we still have a downside. ES tapping that 600-day VPOC, closing out couple of previous VPOCs up here, but again, the magnet here of 600 days of trading, that is the mean. And crude still holding an upside, but pretty much sideways. So let's jump into that daily big pick. Let me pull up that crude here for a second. There's our daily CL. As we can see here on the Fibonacci extension, we're still holding upside above the 50 and the 200 MA. And on the 4-hour crude, we can see price action on the T3 moving averages. Still in an upwards trend, as the 50 is still holding above the 144. And as we can see here, the 2 moving averages, 50 above the 144. Crude finding Heikin Ashi bars back to the upside, even though we had a little bit of a pullback here yesterday or the last 2 days. So we are back in the uptrend. So as long as the uptrend is back in focus, we look to the daily gaps. We look for anything upside, and we've been talking about this for weeks. Crude, I'm looking for that 55.41 if we're able to break and hold to the upside, at least on the 4-hour charts. Again, intraday, got to be ready for both directions. All right, wrapping it up with the NQ, ES, and YM over here. We have the NQ, everybody holding above their 50-period moving averages, well above the 200 on both the NQ and the ES down. ES and YM here on the right. Average volume today, not yet getting there. We were below par, so always a little concern on volume that pushes price, but ticks are ticks and trend is trend. So whether we had the volume or not, maybe we get it tomorrow, but price action rose today without as much average volume that I'd hoped we would see. Downward trend still on the 51.44, just by a hairline. We can see that might cross over overnight session. 144.50, all depending on that Brexit vote outcome. And there it is, ES and YM finally turning itself around, upwards trend confirmation, as the T3 moving average is holding now above the 50 and the 144. Always be ready intraday. Watch for the pullback, and price action lifts once again, holds above the 50 and 200 for the next several sessions. I could say that confirmation will look good as we continue to the upside if all things turn out well today. All right, taking a look again for tomorrow economic data. It's all about the Brexit. Started here in a little bit. It is 4:45 Eastern Standard Time. Market closes up here at about 15 minutes. Numbers will start coming out overnight, and up until the midnight hour, we should start seeing some numbers roll in, and I think the market will play itself out through the Asian and the London Open. Also, don't forget, for Friday, June 24th, Russell rebalancing as well will impact the indices. All right, that concludes my insight into the daily trend. Feel free to stop by at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. My trading mantra: one simple strategy, any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. Find me every day on Twitter and Trading Fibs. And as always, I leave the crystal ball to the experts. I only trade what's in front of me and on my charts. And as always, leave your bias at the door when trading. Hey guys, have yourselves a Blue Zone day, good night, and good trading.